Good morning and welcome to this virtual gathering of First UU Church of Detroit and Northwest UU. I am Diana Kohler and my pronouns are she and her. I am the worship leader for this morning's service and I'm joined by RJ Jones, who has spoken at Northwest in the past. If you are a visitor and would like Northwest to stay in touch with you, please fill out the visitor form appearing in the chat box. Now, would you please greet your neighbors with a wave from wherever you are. We have one announcement this morning. Northwest has a congregational meeting scheduled for next Sunday, June 2nd, after church. The major item on our agenda is passing the budget for the coming church year. All are welcome to attend, however, only members can vote. Please make sure that you're looking at the updated budget information in the electronic copy of the meeting call. More information about Northwest and its events is in our weekly newsletter and on our website. The same is true of First UU Detroit. Before we begin with the prelude, let's all take a deep breath and settle into a time of worship.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You
might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will leave us one.
Imagine no possessions. I
the flaming chalice is the symbol of our faith. We light it this morning knowing that many other Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world are doing the same. We light it with the words from Northwest's mission statement. You may repeat them aloud after me. We grow this flame. We light this flame to grow in spirit, knowledge, and action, to accept and challenge one another, to support each other in times of joy and need. Each week we offer a land acknowledgement. We honor and pay respects to the land on which we live and work, which was violently stolen through colonialism, genocide, and forced removal of its traditional stewards, the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, which include the Ottawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi, also known as the Ottawa, Chippewa, and Potawatomi tribes. We also acknowledge the people of African descent who were forcibly removed from their land and separated from their families through kidnapping and enslavement, and pay reverence and respect to them for building this country's infrastructure and economy with no compensation or reparations to date.
We'll
Each week, we take an offering that allows us to exercise our generosity. All designated donations to Northwest from our collection in May will be split evenly between the Southfield Emergency Needs Fund and Northwest. You can give in a variety of ways, which will be visible on your screen in a moment.
Actually, I just put it in the chat box, Diana, just the link.
All right, so you're not going to see it on your screen, but you know what to do. We honor your generosity by committing to ensure that our collective resources do a greater good for ourselves and our world than any could have done individually. I was looking down when that last video started, so I don't know if you saw that it was recorded as a tribute to Ukraine. This is the point in our service where we acknowledge our joys and sorrows. And I'd like to remind you that anyone needing the support of our community can reach out to our Minister of Pastoral Care, Reverend Teresa Rolk, in the weekly drop-in Zoom room or in one-on-one appointments by emailing pastoralcare@northwestuu.org. For the next few months, our community's collective cares will be recorded in our Book of Joys and Sorrows, which is on the red cabinet near the name tags. Because there's no one from the Pastoral Care Committee today, I will read the one that's already written in the book. And if you have a joy or a sorrow, please write it in the chat and I will read that. Julie Stitt has the joy of having become a published author with her children's book, Hide and Seek. I don't see any joys or sorrows in the chat, so I will move into the pastoral prayer. For these, the joys and sorrows that are held, and the joys and sorrows that are held in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, I offer this prayer. Sources of radiance and resilient, keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed. May the sick be tended. May the weary find rest. May the dying and those who love them find peace. May the joyous be shielded, and may all know that we are surrounded in a love that is with us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. May we take a few moments of silence to be with each other in the sacred space. Joys and sorrows happen all the time, and they happened not to come into my phone in time for me to say them previously. So there are some very big feelings in our congregation right now. Jim and Linda Gobeski wanted to let us know that their daughter Erin, who died in 2007, would have been 41 on May 20th. Alicia Schufert is glad to be in here in church with her mother. We're glad you're here too, Alicia. And everyone, a prayer and helpful thoughts for Adarsha, who is waiting for a heart at Cleveland Clinic. So let's just have a moment of silence. Our reading today was written by the Buddha. It's titled Only Through Love. Never does hatred cease by hating in return. Only through love can hatred come to an end. Victory breeds hatred. The conquered dwell in sorrow and resentment. They who give up all thought of victory or defeat may be calm and live happily at peace. Let us overcome violence by gentleness, Let us overcome evil by good. Let us overcome the miserly by liberality. Let us overcome the liar by truth.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rain that falls. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The ways we spend, the ways we share, who are the rich and poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call. This is all of our world, all of our world. It's all of our world. Yes, this is all of our world. It's all of our world. It's all of our world. This is all of our world.
Good morning, everyone. So pleased to be with you again, and miss seeing everyone. Sitting here looking at the empty pews, and it's a weird feeling, but we're going to get through it. I hope to have something to say about a very sensitive matter within American society and just, I think, around the world. So if you could bear with me, I'd like to talk about honor, heroism, and the horrors of war. Honor, heroism, and the horrors of war. Today, or this morning, I stand before you with a very heavy heart, burdened by the crushing weight of the many international conflicts that plague our world. War is one of the most bitter realities of human existence. Yet, in the face of war, it's wise to reflect on the moral complexities and quandaries that accompany war. Therefore, I'm going to try to navigate the treacherous waters of war with a compass of finite wisdom, and more importantly, a lantern of compassion. I'm not going to proffer an overly simplistic narrative that paints war as an incontrovertibly good or incontrovertibly evil. It's incontrovertibly good or evil. War is a manifestation of the imperfect nature of our lives, relationships, and world. It rises from the brokenness of humanity, from human pride, from human ignorance and alienation, and the limitations of our understanding, as well as our moral development. And for these and many other reasons, wars can be as morally complex as the morally complex human beings who cause and conduct them. Moreover, let us now, in this introduction, let us now and henceforth confront the uncomfortable truth that the glorification of war heroes often obscures the very grim reality of war. While we honor the courage and sacrifice of those who have served honorably, we must also recognize that the valor of such individuals should not be used to justify the horrors of war itself. War is not a stage for heroics. It's not a stage for heroics, but a tragic testament to the failures of diplomacy as well as the fragility of human relationships. And finally, by way of introduction, I must confess that I do not think the path to peace is always paved with pacifism alone. There are times when the clarion call of justice demands that evil and tyranny be met with the righteous sword of liberation. Indeed, this is perhaps the essence of what is called just war theory, which posits that while war may be a last resort and an immensely tragic necessity, it should nonetheless be waged with moral discernment and restraint, guided first and foremost by principles of proportionality, and an overriding concern and commitment to restorative justice and peaceful coexistence, if at all possible. That said, I dare not stand here and attempt to sway you with romanticized tales of war heroes and glory. For behind the veil of valor lies the harsh reality of incalculable human suffering. War, like tempestuous winds, sweeps across the world, leaving devastation and despair in its wake. But still, let us not be deceived, for the moral assessment of war is hardly ever a simple dichotomy of right and wrong. Rather, it is a labyrinthine maze of competing narratives where the lines between justice and injustice can quickly blur like the fog of a conflict. From a more practical standpoint, war is an interplay, an outcome of geopolitics, greed, and the insatiable lust for power. In the corridors of power, nations maneuver like chess pieces, driven by ambitions that often transcend and trounce the sanctity of human life. It is in this incendiary thicket of competing interests where the lines between justice and injustice tend to dissipate like smoke on the battlefield. Geopolitics, greed, and the lust for power are not abstract concepts, but forces that shape the course of nations each and every day. As we look out into our world, we witness how these forces intertwine, often leading to the eruption of violence and bloodshed. The pursuit of territory, resources, and dominance becomes a battleground where the cries of hapless victims are drowned out by the clamor of conflict. Geopolitics, in particular, often forms the backdrop of internecine conflict. Across continents and oceans, rampant suspicions, strategic maneuvering, and territorial ambitions dictate the moves of world leaders, sometimes plunging nations into the abyss of war. The tempest of geopolitical turmoil in which nations dance the intricate waltz of power and prestige often drives us towards war with the relentless force of a mighty river. Greed also rears its ugly head in the waters, in the theater of war. It whispers its poisonous promises of wealth and glory, seducing the powerful and the vulnerable alike. It drives people to commit unspeakable acts in the name of profit and resource control, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. An insatiable hunger that gnaws at the soul of humanity. Greed casts its dark shadow over the battlefield, turning noble causes into mere pawns in the game of power and wealth accumulation. Noble principles are sacrificed on the altar of avarice and greed. Then there's the lust for power, that primal urge that drives so many political leaders and rulers to madness and thus nations to ruin. This pernicious urge that drives so many to conquer and dominate can transform the noblest of causes into the bloodiest of conflicts. Indeed, it is an intoxicating elixir that clouds the minds of the mighty, leading nations to clash like titans up on the field of battle, heedless of the suffering they inflict upon the innocent. Thus, in the hands of the powerful, the machinery of war becomes a tool for oppression and domination, crushing the hopes and dreams of the innocent beneath its iron heel. In a world where geopolitics, greed, and lust for power weave such a complex web of concern and viciously competing interests, in such a world, this happens and it stains the fabric of humanity with the blood of countless souls. How do we discern the righteous cause and thus whether any particular war is a just war? How do we navigate the murky waters where noble intentions are corrupted by the allure of greed and the lust for dominion? Alas, unfortunately, there are no easy answers, however much this terrifying thread of contributing factors haunts our conscience as we confront and contemplate the specter of war. Yet, amid this chaos, we find ourselves confronted with the enigma of the war hero. The enigma of the war hero. So how do we honor those who have answered the call of duty without glorifying war itself? In a world where war is often a racket, where there can be a razor-thin line between heroism and villainy. In such a world, how do we honor those brave souls who march into the maw of battle? Their valor occasionally immortalized in the annals of human history. Well, the answer lies not so much in the laurels of mere victory, but in the moral courage and sacrifice of the individual. Let us remember that true heroism transcends the battlefield. That true courage resides not in the wielding of weapons, but in the defense of principles in the service of humanity. Amidst the chaos and carnage of war, some do indeed rise above the fray And as a result, their bravery and sacrifice illuminate the darkness like beacons of light and hope amidst a storm. Such people are the real war heroes. Not so much because their courage or selflessness inspire awe and admiration in the hearts of all who hear their tales, but because of their relentless pursuit of peace and their profound commitment to justice for all. Knowing the path to heroism is fraught with peril and sacrifice. True heroes are not at all blinded by the glamour of battlefield glory. Rather, they stand up against injustice wherever it may arise, speaking truth to power and advocating for the rights of the oppressed. Again, it's not medals that they seek the most, but the metal to make a positive difference in the face of the most dark and dire circumstances, even if this means standing up to or against whoever is in power. Of course, such is not the soldier who merely follows orders. Neither is it the commanding officer who merely gives orders. Such is not the troop that marches into battle with no moral concern other than their orders. Rather, it is the soldier who questions authority, the commander who contemplates the righteousness of their cause, and the troop that carries a moral compass into the heart, the very heart of conflict. To honor such war heroes, we must distinguish their personal valor and integrity from the broader machinery of war. Their heroism is not a function of the battles they fought, but of the principles they upheld in the midst of chaos. As we laud their bravery, let us also critique the systems and structures that necessitate such bravery in the first place. True heroism is found in the defense of principles. It's found in an unwavering commitment to justice. True heroism is found in compassionate service to humanity. Consider the stories of those who, even in the midst of the turmoil of war, risk their lives to save civilians, to protect the innocent, to stand up against injustices, even perpetrated by their own side. These are the individuals who remind us that even in the darkest of times, the light of human decency and moral courage can shine through. True heroes are often those who face peril not for personal glory, but for a cause greater than themselves. They are driven by a deep-seated sense of justice and a commitment to uphold the dignity of all human beings. This path is fraught with immense risk, often leading to ostracization, punishment, imprisonment, or even death. Yet it is this willingness to prioritize ethical principles over blind obedience and sacrifice everything for what is right that sets true heroes apart. Such heroes are the ones who, despite the horrors of war, maintain their humanity and compassion. They are the ones who see the enemy not as faceless adversaries, but as fellow human beings caught in the same tragic circumstances. They are the ones who, even in the heat of battle, Remember the value of mercy, compassion, and the importance of justice. War, with all of its horrors and atrocities, often thrust individuals into circumstances where their true character is revealed. In a context where moral clarity is often obscured by the fog of war, true heroes emerge not as mere participants in war, but as exemplars of humanity's highest virtues. In a world marred by conflict, the enigma of the war hero calls us to honor the deep moral courage of those who, amidst the chaos, stand firm in their principles and act with compassion and justice. Let us remember that true heroism is not about the medals or accolades, but about the profound commitment to doing what is right, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. As we honor these heroes, let us also thrive to create a world where such heroism is no longer even necessary. A world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue and diplomacy, where justice and compassion guide our actions, and where the sanctity of human life is upheld above all else. Let us be inspired by their example to lead lives of courage, integrity, and the unwavering commitment to a greater good. We can cultivate a spirit of empathy and understanding, recognizing the humanity of all human beings, regardless of race, religion, or nationality. We can reach out to those who are suffering, offering a helping hand to those who are in need, standing up to injustice wherever it may arise. We can speak truth to power and advocate for the rights of the oppressed. So, my dear brothers and sisters, let us honor the honorable war heroes, our honorable war heroes, not by glorifying the horrors of war or war itself, but by striving to create a world where their sacrifices are no longer necessary. Let us work tirelessly for peace, knowing that it is only through love and understanding that we can truly honor the legacy of those who have fallen in the battle. In conclusion, let us heed the words of the prophet Isaiah, who envisioned a world where they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. May we strive towards this vision with all our hearts, minds, and souls, knowing that true peace begins with each and every one of us. Thank you very much.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and wide. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams,
We will now extinguish our chalice. Please repeat after me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of hope. The warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our benediction was written by Heidi Cotton. Let us be a faith that gathers, reaching for one another through the walls of hate others build, through the cages of ignorance and arrogance, and through the fear that burns city streets. Let us be a faith that sees a vision of a better world, more compassionate, more just, more holy, and with more love. There is a faith that binds up the broken, cauterizes battle wounds with the balm of peace, sings louder and longer than the trumpets of war. Let us be that faith too. Let us be the ones who do not tread lightly in this world, but light it up with our love, who hold up the mirror of worth and dignity, who are the sanctuary others seek.
Now I've been happy lately, thinking about good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun.
Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world just one. And I believe it could be someday it's gonna come.
'Cause I'm on the edge of darkness, there rides the peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again.
Now I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun. Peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-ooh-ah. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump aboard the peace train.
Rendin chomtima arkidam padat seila de mangaron unade kadi fani ma joni etto ma jola ar abodam dam dam dunam dam wadadi ma unade fani ma joni unsakongota.
Peace train sounding loud, glide on the peace train.
Been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? The peace train sounding loud, glide on the peace train. Come on, peace train. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump upon the peace train. Come on, come on, come on.
Come on, ride on the peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Let's come on, peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Peace train.
on the peace train.
Come on, the peace train.